After making over literally 1,000 stories and spending hundreds of hours trying to figure out how to get viewers into sales through stories, here's exactly how we made over $80,000 from simply posting Instagram stories the right way, without actually having to be fake, without having to, be cringy, and only spending like 5 minutes a day. Okay, so barely any time, barely any effort. However, it is the biggest, highest leverage thing that you can possibly do. Now, number one, we're going to cover why stories, number one, are better than reels to get sales. Okay, why they convert better, why there are so many benefits to actually having the right story structure rather than just simply relying on posting and praying to get clients. Okay, that's me, that's my client right there, and that's how we made over, this was back in June, so just well over like 100K generated. This needs to be updated from Instagram stories, and this is our primary driver of getting sales, right? Just nurturing through stories and everything. So we are going to show you why stories work for us and everybody else better than reels to get sales. Of course, reels have their place, but yeah. Number two, the 4 types of stories that made me and my client over $80,000. Like I said, me and Azim right here, we perfected the story, which I will go over the entire story strategy that you need to know and what it looks like, how it's going to go. And number 3, how to actually structure a story sequence. Number 4, how to maximize views and conversions and just really tie everything together. Okay. Now I'm going to take a moment to explain to you why stories are simply the best way to get sales and actually nurture leads, and not really just through reels. Okay. You have to understand that literally everybody and their mom puts a fake persona on Instagram. Okay, they put sunglasses on Instagram. They only look through it through one lens, and you only see the wins, you only see the picture perfect moments of the business. And that's kind of the reality. If you go ahead and open your Instagram stories, that proves a lot right now in the scenario. And so when was the last time you really just saw someone be honest? When was the last time you saw somebody actually show you the ins and outs of their business online, of their lifestyle online, how things actually go in the day-to-day operations? Okay, and that is literally what nobody else shows, which is showing the losses, the struggles, and actual raw reality when it comes to running a business and living the life that you actually live. Okay, everybody else is still posting these highlight reels showing their best moments, while authenticity becomes your unfair advantage. And so by doing this, you instantly separate yourself from the market and you just become a one of one. And so we have a live example right here of a customer who paid us $2,000 cash collected. And the thing that pushed him to book a call was on the onboarding form. It was a story, and it was how sincere you were in spreading the message of Islam whilst engaging in fitness that made me feel like I need to be a part of this. Okay. And this shows you how powerful stories can actually be. Okay. This is where the sale is actually made. And so this is the main reason as to why we've put such emphasis on stories and not simply just trying to bust out as many reels as possible. Now over here, I'm going to break down the 4 kinds of stories that we post to get over 80K in sales. And there are 4 things that you need to pay attention on. Okay. Number 1, which is showing personality. Number 2, which is documenting. Number 3, which is social proof. And the last one, obviously, having call to action stories and doing them the right way. Now, if we go into showing personality, you have to understand, like, people, you're not a bot, okay? A lot of people just try and just spam CTAs, okay? They try and do like 1/4 of this and just call it a day. Hey, buy my coaching program, DM me for workout plans. I see this so many times, especially with people with hundreds of thousands of followers. They still have that mistake, okay? They just be like, yo, guys, swipe up, DM me to buy my program. And it still just doesn't justify somebody sitting there and just spending thousands of dollars on the program. And so you have to show personality. You have to show that you're just like one of them. Okay, right here we've posted a day in the life when it comes to eating, working out, and really just the day-to-day inputs that we get in, right? This can inspire people. This can actually get people to feel like, okay, you're a part of them and they're just like you and you're a normal person, okay? Showing kids, showing that they're actually watching TV before bed. This guy's literally posting some squirrels talking about, his workout here, sharing that his family is here. And then obviously him praying at the mosque, doing work, working busy, because we target busy professionals and everything. And so it's very important to show that we're also a busy professional. Okay. If you just tell them, okay, I help busy professionals, that's not enough. You got to show. Okay. And then this one right here is just like a moment. It's like diet starts Monday. This guy's literally at a steakhouse and he's just going ham. And he's showing these people that I have a life just like you. And I'm enjoying my life to the fullest. And this is why you can relate with me and you're going to build a stronger connection with me. And this is what's eventually going to lead you down the line to actually pay, for whatever I have to offer, because you've built such a connection with me. Okay. Now you have the next one, which is a bit more specific within lifestyle, which is documenting. If you don't show people the journey, if you don't show people something from start to finish, this is what gives you an unfair advantage over your competitors, because your competitors don't know how to document. And so if you can just show that you're on a journey, that you're actually working towards becoming better, such as, obviously in this case, you're doing a to-do list on pen and paper, inspiring others to do it, showing how the physique is going so far, showing in the moment how clients are getting their services done, right? In this point, he's on a group call with all his clients, right? He's showing that he's doing the actual coaching. If you're documenting this is what's going to build that trust factor even more on a double level compared to all the other people, right? Because now you're actually showing people and you're not telling people. Like I said, the whole point is to show, okay? Showing another group call, some takeaways that you have, and just giving value overall, documenting, I'm dealing with stress, I'm dealing with 1, 2, and 3. And this just shows a much more realistic perspective to life that, me and you live, right? At the end of the day, this is what we go through. This is the exact same lifestyle that we live. And so I'm going to naturally build a connection to somebody just like this, who's posting stories like this, documenting the journey, the ups and downs. And all these things are so, so important, right? He's sharing that the last few weeks have been incredibly stressful, and I just want to keep it 100 with you guys, right? I get lazy. Things happen. But at the end of the day, it's how I react to this laziness that, pushes me to go forward. And this is what inspires people and also shows the more authentic, raw side of you, right? It's very specific. However, this is what is going to build that connection. And you think this is not that shady, flashy stuff, but this is what leads to payments, right? Down the line that are just like this, right? Because of those stories, okay? And so you have the documenting phase. And then of course, you cannot miss the social proof. You have to blend that in, and you can't just, of course, if you spam social proof, that's good, but everybody else has social proof, right? Your competitors also have social proof. They also have results. They clearly provide a coaching service. They clearly provide some sort of service to benefit the world. And so you're going to be able to, on top of these two, show your social proof, and not only just showing it, of course, having the screenshots, having the videos of clients and everything, and narrating over how the before and after was. When you narrate over kind of like the backstory of these stories, like for example, this guy was dealing with 1, 2, and 3 beforehand, then his mindset shifted in 1, 2, and 3 different ways, and then now he's at XYZ result. If you share that, people will give so much, people will care about the result. If I can just scroll through like 1 million results of people getting like $1,000 payments just like this, but what separates me from all the other guys sharing the fact that all their clients get $1,000 payments? It's the fact that there's a story behind it, right? This guy resonated with it, right? And so if you can actually build some sort of story and actually narrate the reason as to why your clients are getting results, that is what's going to get you those leads who resonate with that same exact client, who are going to hop into your DMs, who are going to actually be an inbound and actually want your services and actually want to pay thousands of dollars for your actual service, okay? And so you're going to have to narrate over how your clients are making progress so that people actually care about your client results. So people actually resonate with your client results. So people actually like build some sort of connection with you, your brand, and your results, okay? Imagine they're connecting with your personality, how you are as a person, your morals and values, how your journey actually is, right? I'm dealing with stuff at this time of the day. I'm dealing with a stressful week, right? And on top of that, client social proof, right? Making sure that you can actually do your fulfillment, and most importantly, having people resonate with the same transformations that you're providing, okay? And of course, you tie that all down with a call to action. Damn, my light just died. So we're gonna let the show go, and we're just gonna depend on my MacBook lighting. However, the last thing is the call to action stories, okay? You need to be able to, once again, after you show all your client results and everything, you have to just simply drive them to a hard CTA. If you're ready to get results like this, reply X to my story and let's chat to see if you're a good fit for, the inner circle, all that stuff. Show some before and after, and just tie all of this down with a CTA. You have the authority to do a CTA after giving 5 or 10 pieces of these right here, because this is what gives value. You have the authority to actually ask people to join your coaching program after you've done all these things right here, okay? At the end of the day, we've been able to position ourselves from one of the most saturated industries in the space, which is the health and wellness space, and we've been able to generate over 100K by simply positioning ourselves different from everyone else, okay? And it's by doing this. This is the stuff that no one else wants to do, and we're not even, being inauthentic to, who we are as a person, right? We're still sharing exactly what we do, but there is a meaning behind it. There's a reason as to why we're doing each one of these things. Here's exactly how you're going to execute that, okay? Because this is the biggest thing, and you don't want to spend lots of time just simply working on stuff like this. You want to be able to do it efficiently, you want to be able to do it quickly. And so number one is have a library of B-roll ready for each scenario. Okay. At the end of the day, we're trying to show, we're not trying to tell. Can you show your client relationship? Can you actually show it physically, literally in real life, whether that's a client interview that you have with one of your case studies and actually just talking with them and just chopping it up and everything. That is what's going to literally do most of the selling for you. And then of course you have, your testimonials, that having videos and pictures of your lifestyle, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and then just the documentation, raw reality of everything that you deal with. A lot of us think that we have to just go and buy flashy cars. Maybe we have to go and show something that's not us. The thing is, you just have to understand that you have a life that 99% of people already want. Okay. You have the freedom, you have the financials, you have the wealth, you have the health, and all these things, right? And so everybody is simply starting to pick up on like the photos kind of side, right? Which is like, okay, yeah, here's a picture of my client and we just did 1, 2, and 3. But if you can do video, that's what's going to really separate you on another level. Okay. So just have all this B-roll ready. Number 2 is your storytelling. Okay. Have your notes app, literally your notes app on your iPhone. And anytime you have that creative spark where you just have that thought, like, dude, I literally want to change the world, go and write that down on your notes app. Okay. It can be related to any of the themes, like anything about client fulfillment, like talking about how you're the best in the space, anything about the lifestyle that you want to live or the lifestyle that you and your clients live, any sort of vulnerability, anytime you're in your fields, anytime you're in your moment where you feel like you actually have to share this and show that you're a person just like, your dream ICP, go ahead and share that, right? Any visions that you have that you want to become the best in your space, you want to become an industry leader, all these things, and you can just back it up by all this proof, all this client testimonials, relationships, lifestyle, documentation, all these things right here. Okay. And so you're just going to write down any thoughts, any moments, any feelings that you have, and you're going to batch both of these up at the beginning of the week. Okay. You're going to spend 30 minutes to combine storytelling from your notes and your B-roll. You're going to combine that and you're going to leverage that for your Instagram stories throughout the week. Okay. There is a usual hard CTA towards the end of the week. So you'll try to, like, at least if you want to do a CTA, give 10 and then you can ask once, okay? Or give 5, you can ask once. I'm heavy towards the 10 because you just want to give enough value to where, people can justify spending thousands of dollars with you, okay? And so you're going to spend 30 minutes to just combine the storytelling from your notes that you've written down, that you've batch prepped, and all the B-roll that you have, and just combine, any client testimonials, any sort of thing that you're sharing, whether it's lifestyle notes, whether it's documentation notes, any sort of testimonials that you're dealing with. And so you can just go and combine that and just keep that in your drafts. Okay. This is what's going to give you the most leverage with stories over your competitors, because you have to understand, like, you're not just making good looking stories. You're not just making stories that convert, but you're making them faster than anyone else. You're being more efficient than your competitors. And the efficiency at which you post these very highly nurturing stories, this is what's going to give you that leverage, that easy, unfair advantage over your competitors. Okay. And this is what's going to allow you to target and convert your dream client, your dream, ideal client profile into sales just like this. Okay. 1.8K, which is a 2.5K, that's pounds, 2.5K PIF, 2,000, another 1,700, 3K, 2K. All of these are because of scenarios like this, where it was a story and how sincere you were in spreading the message. Okay. And it's stuff like this that people are going to relate to. And this onboarding form right here shows you exactly why. Okay. It's very, very simple. And it's one of those things that no one wants to share. Okay. It's the stuff that's not very flashy. However, you have to compound this. You have to compound stories just like this because no one else is doing that. And when no one else is doing that, you're having that advantage over them, and you're going to be able to get the best type of clients in the market and work with people who actually want to pay for your service and actually pay what you're worth. Okay. Now, I promise if you do this for months on end and you do it when no one else is looking and you actually execute on it every single day and you're showing all kinds of angles of your actual life, and most importantly, the results that you provide, the actual value that you're able to provide, and most importantly, building that connection with your audience, then there's no reason why you're not going to be able to do even better than this, right? Even better than making 80 grand or 90 grand or 100 grand. Just think about how much long-term your business will last and how much of from an ethical viewpoint, like how much more relatable you are to your audience. And this is why people are going to choose you over your competitors, because everyone else is still showing the flashy lifestyle. They're showing all this, extravagant stuff, the rentals, the Lambos, while you are simply showing yourself who you are, why you're able to relate to your ICP, and most importantly, showing them that you can do it. You've not only done it yourself, you've done it with others, and you're able to help them all. And naturally, people are going to start and pay you for what you're worth, just like this. And so that pretty much wraps it up. I know we went very in depth, but this is literally the only framework that you need to mastering stories and building them over a long period of time to actually have leverage over everybody else and kill it in your industry. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.